Hello everyone and welcome back to Adventures with Clive, and we are here in the Worms Rock Fortress where we left off after the coronation of Gortash, and we now are at the point where we can enter into the lower city, which is the main section of the city that we have access to at this point. And we have the choice to either pursue Gortash, and we can take out Gortash first, or we can pursue Orin and take her out first. So the difference is going to be the path we need to take in order to get to that point for both of them, which we need to do that regardless. We have to do both of these paths regardless. It's just a matter of who do you take out first, and it really is up to you. So in order to take out Gortash, we have to take out his watchers, so his steel watch, and in order to do that we have to get to the steel watch foundry. There's a whole process that involves dealing with the gnomes there and helping them out, and then getting access to the central core, and then taking that place out and then dismantling all of the steel watch. So there's a whole path that we have to go down in order to do that, and then we can attack Gortash and take his netherstone. Orin, we are already on that path. We have to continue following the trail of ritualistic murders, and that leads us into a sewers area, and the sewers area is going to lead us into the Temple of Baal, and that's how we get to access Orin and take her out. So those two processes are fairly lengthy, and of course there's a ton we have to do besides that still within the city. So let's head on out into the downstairs area. So let's go through here, the passageway, and then we'll head over there. And we still need to talk to Mizora. She wanted us to talk with her after we went through the coronation. So let's take care of this part.
What did I tell you? A momentous occasion. I'm sure you agree.
I've had enough, Mizora. What do you want?
Your attention, little pup. Nothing more. And you'll be glad to give it. You see, Gortash has had your father relocated.
Where have they taken him?
To the slaughter, the way I hear it.
Shit.
Your dad's good as dead, pup. And to think, there's no way to save him. Or is there?
You know something.
I know enough. I'll be in your camp if you want to work something out.
Alright, and then let's talk with Wyll.
Of course she'd stick her infernal nose where it doesn't belong. Of course she's dreamt up some risible scheme. By all the hounds of the hells, what is she planning?
Mizora's up to nothing good, that's for certain.
Certainly not. But she's as inevitable as Toril's path around the sun. We'll have answers soon enough. Mizora's gone to camp. We should speak with her. Until then, may my father keep safe, whatever coop he's been flown to.
Alright, let's just go ahead and leave. We could have talked to Wyll about the Duke Stellamain murder, and that does lead to some interesting information. Essentially, Wyll met with Duke Stellamain twice, and the first time she was very, friendly and outgoing, and then the second time she was more reserved, and she seemed like she had a mental issue, and it kind of leads us to believe that the interaction with the Emperor that she had caused her to suffer from a mental breakdown of some sort, and it kind of leads you to not trust the Emperor as much. Alright, so here is the entrance to Lower City, and let's go ahead and walk through this. Alright, this is the Lower City. It does take a decent amount of time to load up the Lower City the first time. So, a little bit about the Lower City. There's a lot of people that you can talk to. You can get a lot of lore and backstory and information from talking to these people. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to focus more on things that will lead to quests and less about the smaller interactions that aren't going to lead to a quest. And that's just to save time in a sense, but if there is something, you know, of importance, I can point that out. So you're going to see a lot of citizens talking to fists. And there's going to be a lot of animosity towards the fists at this point in time. And because of that, you're going to see a lot of fists reacting in ways maybe a little heavy-handed at times. So they're going to react to citizens and how citizens are treating them. Alright, so we do get a waypoint. The waypoint is right here. This is for the Basilisk gate. The first thing you probably want to do is look at this execution notice.
Floric, former advisor to Duke Ravengard, has been found guilty of treacherous and seditious activity against the people of Baldur's Gate. She will be executed 5 days hence.
Okay, so that tells us that Floric, who was in Act 2, the lady in Act 2, who was sent on to Baldur's Gate to get help, essentially to help out the people in Act 2 and the last Light Inn. She is now being charged with treason, and of course we kind of can put things together with the fact that the Duke Ravengard is compromised, he has a tadpole, and that Gortash is now the leader. So we see that she has probably had a protest for that, and she is suffering the consequences from all that's been changed. Okay, and then there's the guy that's going to execute her, and she's going to be hanging on the gallows. They're all talking about the gallows and stuff. So yeah, it's very interesting. All right, so let's go into the Basilisk Gate Barracks. And we need to go and to this place. This is going to lead us to a quest.
Quite colourful, quite unnecessary. If not over, the thrill.
All the quests now give a decent amount of experience, and they're very helpful in the sense that we can level up quite a bit. And a lot of the quests are like unnecessary to get to the max level too. So you just get to the max level just quicker by doing these quests. So we have this lady here, Laura, and we have Blaze Liara, and they're both arguing. And we kind of get the sense that she's needing help and she is not remembering why she's here. So let's dive in.
How many times do I need to say it? You sent word about a need, said that I should come see you about it.
Of course, madam. Let me just... Forgive me. Why are you here?
Is this some kind of sick joke? Do you have any idea what I've been through these past few days?
Okay, so we can see that this lady is in trouble and the other lady is not remembering, or she's having something change her memories. Let's ask her what is going on here.
My daughter Vanra, my little girl, she's missing. This stupid, useless fist said she had a lead, but she must have been sucking Dream Mist or something.
Madam, tell me. You said... she was... taken from a tavern?
Yes, the blushing mermaid down by the docks. I told you 100 times. Why aren't you listening?
Alright, we can berate her about taking your kid to a tavern. Or we can just ask her, you know, I'm listening, tell me what happened.
Excuse me, citizen, but if this is a criminal matter, it's my business, not yours. Now, madam, if you'll just tell me why you're here, I'll take down the details.
What is happening? I feel like I'm going mad.
I'll help you find your daughter.
You will? Thank you. I haven't slept or eaten since she disappeared. I'm terrified something has happened to her. Her name is Vanra. She's 7 years old and has red hair like me. We were in the Blushing Mermaid when she was taken. Just up by the docks.
Was anyone else with you?
No, unless you count a couple of old drinking mates at the next table. But they'd be no help. They barely remember their own names. They were sober though. I swear. I stop in the maid for a drink sometimes. But it was only a quick one.
Alright, you must have some witnesses, surely.
Of course. The front of house, Bosun Gannet was there, and the owner of the Blushing Mermaids, Captain Grizzly. Neither lifted a finger to help me look. It was awful.
Okay, I'll head to the Blushing Mermaid now.
Thank you. I'll head home. Can't stand being around these idiots any longer. Come find me the moment you hear anything.
Okay, so we do have quests to save Vanra, and Vanra is her daughter. We can try to talk to Blaze Liadria, but right now she's not going to be very responsive. So, I did fail the Arcana check as well, so we don't know exactly what's going on with her just yet. There is a couple things you can loot if you really want to get into stealing stuff. And there's also these acid barrels laying around here, which are kind of nice. You can pick those up as well, but I would be very careful. So we now have a sense of what's going on, a little more of a sense of what's going on with the fists. We saw her suffering from like amnesia of some sort, and that she was having a hard time remembering the conversation there. So there's some sort of mind control happening across the fists. And there's a situation here where we see that this lady's been knocked out, and these people witnessed it, and they're now confronting the fists. So you're going to see a lot of animosity right now towards them, like I mentioned before. This is a pretty good interaction. If you talk with this guy, the Steel Watcher, he thinks that Karlach is an outdated version of the Steel Watch because she has an infernal engine inside of her, and that Karlach needs to go report to the Foundry in order to be dismantled. So that's a interesting piece of information, and it kind of makes you, like, it gives you more information about what these guys are made of, the Steel Watch, and you kind of get the sense that the Steel Watchers have infernal engines inside them, and that Gortash got the technology because he traded Karlach for that technology. And so that's why Karlach was sent to Avernus in the first place. So you can kind of gather that information just by talking with them. There's an undead guy here. Nothing really of importance about him. He just wants you to pay him, and then he will let you beat him up. Alright, so this spot right here is this little small room. We can read these letters, and reading these letters gets you some information about what happened to this guy inside the room. So we can lockpick this. And so if we look at the municipal sanitation notice, it does give us a little bit of clues about what's been happening in the city sewers. That there's a tribe of gnolls down there, or kobolds, that we can go down and take care of. So it's kind of like a lead on another quest. And then these three letters right here, they just kind of tell the story of like what happened. He tried to get recruited into the murder tribunal, and he got scared, and then he wound up not joining them, and they gave him one last chance. And if you open the door, we see that he did not take that chance. So there he is. Yeah, if we open him up, we can see that there is a letter, Balthazar the Fifth. And we read this, and it is from Orin, and it does say about the refusal to help, and does update our journal. And we also get this clown's severed pelvis, and this is going to be part of the quest to find dribbles. Yeah, there we go. That's it for this section. All right, so let's keep going. All right, let's walk into here, this building here, and this is really just one of our first vendors we encounter in the city. There are tons of vendors with different types of loot, and this guy is going to be more towards the cleric side.
Greetings, child of faith. Be welcome to the Stormshore Tabernacle. You have come far, I perceive. How may I serve you this day?
Alright, holy items available here for purchase.
Of course, my child. Within limits. Behold my wares.
And yeah, we get some scrolls, which are very helpful. These are mostly cleric-based items, although these balls of fire are very useful. We also get some specific weapons that mostly are used for clerics and maybe like a paladin. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And of course we can get some nice potions if we need some, which we definitely will later. But the biggest thing is that you can kind of trade stuff and sell stuff and then trade it for these potions. He doesn't have any money on him, but this is a good guy to like trade him for like scrolls and stuff that you might need. So we can do that. I might actually do that now and then clean out my inventory and then get ready for the next section. Alright, so once you do talk with him and sell some stuff, you can do a few other things in here, and it's not really that important right now that we do this, but it could help later. So you can offer one of these deities a blessing, and these deities will give you, I think it's a saving throw bonus. So you can do that. It doesn't require gold, so you definitely want to do this after you do a long rest and not before a long rest. So the blessing does fall off during a long rest. So we can offer golds or items. Gold's probably the best thing. If you hit a certain total with these guys, with the deities, then you will get that blessing. That's essentially how that works. And there is a basement to this place. Let's see, where's that at? Oh, there it is. You will have to sneak over there and then lockpick it though. So if you do go down there, you can get into the stash for each one of these gods, and that will let you grab some items. So that is a possibility to do that. I'm not really playing that evil of a playthrough. If I was, I would go down there and steal some stuff. So that's going to be available if you want to do that. You have to like try to avoid getting caught, or I guess take out the cleric there if you want to. You definitely don't want to take out too many vendors because these guys do offer a lot of good stuff. So let's just keep that in mind. Alright, so what we'll do is, before we move on, we definitely need to take a long rest because I haven't taken one since we had the fight with Answer. And we also have to deal with some stuff at the camp, so let's go head there now. Alright, here we are at the camp. Let's go ahead and do a long rest while we're here.
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice, adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Holy hells.
Just what are you up to?
I come to bargain. The hells demand witness.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus.
Your contract, Wyll. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable.
What are you proposing?
A life for a life. No contract is ended without sacrifice. The cost must be paid. Wyll Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the Archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel! I won't let her take Wyll.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora! You asshole!
Choose.
Alright, so this is the point we have to decide. Do you want Wyll to save his father, or do you want him to be free? And I would say for Wyll, he would want to save his father. And there's a lot of information you can get from his father if you do save him. So there's really not too many things that you can do to save his father other than this particular path. So really the choice is up to you. It's not really a wrong or right side. It's really just depending on what you feel is going to be the best outcome. Because Wyll being free as well, he definitely is happy, but he is definitely sad about his father passing away. So that's another thing. Alright, so we can just save your father, Wyll. The city will need him to rebuild.
You damned wretch. Do it then. Claim my soul for Zariel. Keep my father safe.
Fiat Ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Seems you've got a new mission, pup. Go save your father. He's locked in a very nasty place. Gortash's secret command center and prison. Lucky for you, I know the way in. I'll mark your map. After all, a deal's a deal. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Okay. So that is going to have her stick around now, and we can talk with Wyll again.
Twice Mizora's held my feet to the fire, and twice was I burnt. But my father will live. We will return the Grand Duke to his people. And forever a devil's leash will choke me.
I wouldn't give up hope. Maybe we'll find another way out.
Sometimes, fate closes a door for good. The bolt is fastened, the key is destroyed, and the wish is forever locked away. The Hells will take my soul. I'll make my peace with it. I have once already, after all. Besides, there's no time to wallow in self-pity. More than anything, I'm elated that there's hope yet for my father. We should hurry to this mystery prison and retrieve my father before Mizora tries pulling more tricks.
Let's get going then. We've got a Duke to rescue.
This prison's in the lower city. Let's move.
Ravengard's still infected. We can rescue him, but we can't cure him.
We will knock him out if we need to. Or restrain.
Your skull vibrates in concord with the astral prism.
Bring me to your Duke. I will shield him, as I shield you.
Why would you do that?
Better to bring him into the fold than to leave you distracted by regret.
Well then, I'm not about to say no. What else is on your mind?
Alright, that's it. Okay, so we did make the pact. I mean, Wyll's happier for it. If you did condemn his father, there's still a way to save his father, but it definitely is much harder, and Mizora will interfere. But that's going to be it for this episode. We did go through and make it into the lower city. We did pick up quite a few quests along the way. We have the one to save Verna. We also have one to save Floric. And we also have one to save the Grand Duke now. So those 3 quests are fairly important, especially the one for the Grand Duke, which Wyll did sign a pact for. And we will get to that in the next episode. So I thank you for watching this one. I appreciate all the support. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.